ene ye adwuma ewo Islamic hospitals and clinics. Islamic clinics sɛn ene wo Ghana na daakye bi wawu oba oyire ana ubusiani bi kwagye ayarha wunsu akyi sɛ bɛma ana oba ekwa akɔfefe no abra onsɛm fata sɛ ohu na tegye bɛka ho Muslim Access Movement to ne nsa frankramufoɔ gyidiefoɔ ɛne obi a ɔwɔ pepa sɛ ɔboa ɛma saa project yi ɛba so kakra bi a obetumi yɛpɛ the first Islamic public hospital ɛwɔ baabi a wote ɛne Ghana afana nyinaa wasaase bi ɛda baabi wo nateɛ wo blocks wo cement wo nyansa wo links wo hoɔden wadwenkyerɛ biribi a wobetumi ayɛ ade aboa ama yɛsi the first Islamic public hospital ɛwɔ Ghana ha no abɛboa Muslim Access Movement ni ntu anamo insha Allah ta'ala sɛ wopɛ sɛ woboa anaa wopɛ nsɛm yi mu nkyerɛmu biara frɛ yɛn ɛwɔ 0249122334 Muslim Access Movement. Challenge your soul, recharge your iman. Mom Clinic, Mom Hospital. Live healthy, save a life.
Mam Radio. Wallahi, Al-Jannah fi Daws, our limit, inshallah.
Ceremony ubusiani bi yareda ayare sabia na eduane a nurses for edema no eye haram prekunam ekafo baba unyaba na se yire eko hospital akwaji ayare hwe beduru na doctor ni a okofefe na sane yare eye bema umani opapa na ubusiani bi da owupa so ewa ayare sabia na etwa se ye kala ilaha illallah muhammadur rasulullah shana no na kremoni bia na kremoni ba okwa wo so di okwa gina wo eye bema alhaji afano ho haji address hijab na nikah kama eko hospital akoye check up ye bedu ya wo alhaji esi abontin ama haji asabe eyi no ho se doctor ni bema enye ne check up dia ahumete payi eye hiasem ma muslim aye wo Ghana eni wiase afana bebia se ye beka ye ho abom yesi Islamic hospital ana clinic edi aboa ama Islam atupon ewo ye potem eni ye mountain na ye maimu ha ye wo nurses doctors midwife wo bebre ne musai ene ye adwuma ewo Islamic hospitals ana clinics Islamic clinics sen ene wo Ghana na dachi bi wawu oboba wo yire ana wo busiani bi kwagye ayarha wunsu akyi se bema ana oba ekwa akofefe no abra onsem fata se ohu na teche beka ye ho Muslim Access Movement to ne nsa frankramufoɔ gyidiefoɔ ɛne obi a ɔwɔ pepa sɛ ɔboa ɛma saa project yi ɛba so kakra bi a obetumi yɛpɛ the first Islamic public hospital ɛwɔ baabi a wote ɛne Ghana afana nyinaa wasaase bi ɛda baabi wo nateɛ wo blocks wo cement wo nyansa wo links wo hoɔden wadwenkyerɛ biribi a obetumi ayɛ ɛde aboa ama yɛsi the first Islamic public hospital ɛwɔ Ghana ha no fa bɛboa Muslim Access Movement ni ntu anamo insha Allah ta'ala sɛ wopɛ sɛ woboa anaa wopɛ nsɛm yi mu nkyerɛmu biara frɛ yɛn ɛwɔ 0249122334 Muslim Access Movement. Challenge your soul, recharge your iman. Mom Clinic, Mom Hospital. Live healthy, save a life.
نعم أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الكريم أما بعد السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Now, this is the book review show on MAM Online Radio and TV. More share live on MAM TV, Facebook Live. I think so. More tie on MAM Radio. MAM app no, and I think so. You can also get us on TuneIn Radio. Inshallah. This is the book review show. Book ye guswa ye discuss send ye muna munim no. Reclaim Your Heart, authored by Ustada Yasmin Mujahid. In fact, ya discuss book we akwe nimwa say you drew the fifth chapter chapter 5, which talks about the status of women in Islam. The status of women in Islam. This is what we are coming to discuss today on the book review show on MAM Online Radio and TV. Midin Ede Abdelaziz Shoaib Besak, I'm your host. And Alhamdulillah, today I have with me two fantastic personalities. Now, one in the person of Idris Awal Muhammad, and also our sister Sakina Sahabi. Now, Sakina Sahabi. Yes, I need and I the book review show. Yeah, the our MAM Online Radio and TV. Obet me join the program. No, you can share your views with us on Facebook under the live stream. You can also look in the video, inside the video. You can send your messages to our Facebook or to our WhatsApp line, inshallah. You can see it right on the video, inshallah. The easiest way is to send your contributions via the Facebook link, and inshallah, we are going to read it on the program. Without wasting any further time, we'll delve into the topic. We are discussing the status of women in Islam. Islam, imaginable any day. Yebeko sister Sakina Sahabi ho. No, they are starting discussion. No, she will talk about what? What are you talking about?
Empowerment of
yes, women empowerment of women in Islam, inshallah. So, Hajia Sakina, without wasting any further time, let's set the ball rolling, inshallah.
Alhamdulillah. Wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah. Amma ba'd. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Inshallah, today the topic of discussion is women's status, and I'll be handling the first part, which is the empowerment of women. We'll go straight away to look at the meaning of empowerment from the Standard English Dictionary. No. Empowerment is the process of supporting another person or persons to discover and claim personal power. Now, when we look at this definition, it has two folds. The first part is you supporting someone to discover personal power. And the second part is left with the person to either claim the personal power or leave it. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam went to a certain town to preach Islam to them. And how he put the sentence was really touching. He said, I have come to free you from the servitude of the slave and bring you to the servitude of the Lord of the slave. Allahu Akbar.
Mashallah.
This is just the definition of empowerment that the English dictionary is giving us.
I've come to free you from the servitude
of the slave and bring you to the servitude of the Lord.
Mashallah.
That's just what the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is doing. He came to empower us in every field of our lives. Now, when we look at it in this way, this sentence of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam has a treasure in it, and that treasure is you discovering your personal power, you freeing yourself from any other influences and focusing on yourself. And so when we look at our lives nowadays, the things that we attach ourselves to, the things that we allow to define our successes and our failures, those things that we decide if they will show whether we are happy or not, or whether we are honored or not. Those things control us, and so they become our masters. And throughout time, human beings have taken a lot of masters, those who control their lives. And one of the predominant master that ladies have taken, let me say women, to determine our sexes is the man standard. That is, everything that a man does becomes superior, and everything that a woman does is assumed inferior. And when we look at this, it's a very, very faulty assumption. Why should you sit down and say what this person is doing means that what I'm doing is inferior? If a man is able to go out and bring money to the house, that doesn't mean that you staying in the house and producing a vital human resource is a waste of time and therefore it's inferior. And so, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam came to free us from all these masters. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created us man and woman. He says in Surah Al-Hujurat, Ya ayyuhan nasu inna khalaqnakum min dhakarin wa untha. Meaning Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala harness us and he values us in respect to our distinctiveness. That's man and woman, not to our sameness. Fantastic. We can't all be the same. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala therefore says that as a woman, this is what you should do. And as a man, this is what you should do. The fact that a man has barbed his hair and you are braiding yours doesn't mean that barbering of hair is superior and so you should barber your hair. And the fact that he's in trousers and you are in a full long dress doesn't mean that the trouser is inferior to what you are doing. And the fact that the man is into the army, let's say army, a man is a soldier, doesn't mean you should go out and become a soldier.
The standard shouldn't be the
standard shouldn't be the same at all. If not, there won't be any honor in you being a woman.
MashaAllah.
And so, this man standard has really created a lot of problem for women nowadays. If you look at our mothers in the olden days, they never went out and came back even after Maghrib. No, they are always in the house and they make sure we return from the school. We come to meet them in the house. They cook for us. They make sure we've gone to halakha and all that. But nowadays, we've decided to go out and then get nannies for our children. And you don't know the moral standard of your nanny. And so you look at the generation and you see that those people who never even knew our modern definition of empowerment have been able to empower themselves and they have produced more vital human resources. Those who are uneducated produce doctors. Some of our mothers never sat in the classroom, but they were able to produce doctors. Some produce lawyers, and other ones produce big shuyukh in our generation. But we that we claim we know empowerment and we are really feminist end up producing drug addicts and teenage pregnancies.
The well-educated generation.
We the well-educated generation. And so this man standard should be really disregarded. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us to really value our distinctiveness. And we move on to another standard which is very faulty, and that's the standard of our beauty as women. The world has told us that you either become slim, sexy and attractive, or you become nothing else. And so once she's not beautiful, men are not crashing on her, she feels that she has lost it in life. Nothing. And that's a very big mistake that we make. Because you as a woman was not created to please men. You were rather created to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You weren't created to be used for advertisements. You were created to be in your home and just make yourself and your husband and your family happy. You are not for public consumption. You shouldn't look good on the street and make men happy. That's not what you are meant for. You are made of a soul, and your honor depends on the beauty of that soul. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran that inna akramakum indallahi atqakum, that the most honored among you is to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who is more righteous and more pious. And so once your heart is pure and you are so good to your creator, then beauty and man shouldn't be your level or your standard. And so when we grew up, society tells us that before a woman becomes complete, then you should get a guy to tell you that you are beautiful, you are this, you are that. And before you become complete, you should be able to also wake up in the morning and bath and leave the house and leave your kids to the nanny. That's when you really become complete. But then, that's a really faulty assumption. It's just like we living in a fairy tale, like Cinderella being there and feeling so helpless until the prince came to save her. Or we are like Sleeping Beauty, who is just sleeping and waiting for the prince to come and kiss her, then she will come back to life. And so when you look at this, you really realize that once women are not able to get men to tell them that they are beautiful and all that, she feels that she can't do anything else. Yes, she's useless. And so, when we come to the topic of empowerment. I just feel like we should go back to what the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said,
Exactly.
and that is, I've come to free you from the servitude of the slave to the servitude of the Lord of the slave. And so once you are very good to your Creator, He has asked you to put on your hijab. In fact, if we are to be really honest with ourselves, when you really cover yourself and a man is trying to peep to look at you, it's more honorable than you just displaying it, and he will even become tired and he will be like, oh, these people, forget about them. We've seen everything already. Yes. Allah has really made us a queen. No queen will just come to you and be like, shake my hand.
Yes. You will have to struggle to get that
No
handshake.
queen will wear a skimpy dress and come to you.
No.
Queens are really covered and they are really protected.
And if you manage to get a handshake from a queen, you will not wash your hand for 3 days.
Yes. And so, Muslim women, we should know that we are the treasure.
Oh.
And so, the duty is left to the man to really hunt for the treasure. If he is able to get the treasure, then Allah has made it easy for him.
No.
That's what women should be. And so today, I ask all women in the world to unlearn.
I hope they are listening.
To unlearn that definition of empowerment that the Western feminists are putting into our heads.
Subhanallah.
They think they mean war, and so they feel like they should liberate us in quotes.
No.
But that liberation, you should know that it's a silent and destructive slavery that they are trying to put you into.
No.
They are telling you that you should be on public display. You should be attractive.
Expose your private parts.
Yes, you should be lowered to a foot so that they advertise their shoes. Or you should be leveled to just a mere body in a skimpy dress. Or you should be used to advertise their body lotions. That's what they are trying to tell us. But then, what Allah has given us is more higher than that.
No.
We are human beings. We have the mind, we have the soul, and we have the brain. We are not to be for display.
No.
We are meant to empower. And the empowerment we are talking about is you to realize your goal as a woman. That's the first definition of the empowerment, meaning you are to discover your personal power.
No.
If we talk about personal power and you find your power in relation to a man, it means you are not empowered because that power is not personal. It's in relation to someone.
Somebody.
But the time that you realize that, look, I'm a woman and this is what I'm meant to be.
No.
I'm meant to look after the future generation.
No.
I'm meant to support my husband. That's when you really gain that personal power.
MashaAllah.
Our mothers have really done well, and we seem to be departing. And so I tell all women in the world that we should unlearn that definition of empowerment that they've taught us. We should tell them that we are slaves to nothing, not their beauty, not their fashion, and not even to men. We are slaves to someone higher and most high.
Very faulty.
Yes, who is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
No.
And so when they tell us that they are coming to liberate us, Muslim women should stand and tell them that, look, thanks but not thanks.
No.
We love the way we are. We are queens that Allah has made us, and our men who are really harned know our honor. And so we don't need you to come and stand and tell us that this hijab, aren't you feeling hot? No, I'm feeling hot. I like it that way.
MashaAllah. MashaAllah.
Nowadays, it's not easy. The sun is too much. We just hope Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will accept this ibadah that you are doing. It's really difficult, but Allah knows our hearts. And so we are telling the world that we really thank them for trying to liberate us, that Allah and His Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam have done it already. And so I tell all women today that we are slaves to nothing and nothing else, but slaves to the Lord of men, who is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. That was Sakina Sahabi educating us about the empowerment of women. Hajia Sakina Sahabi o tuyefo oka women empowerment kura ne twi yede ye ka women empowerment a e ba say ye ma ema ahoden ana tumi a o betimi de ate o mo ho ase ene ahoden a otumfo Nyankopon de ama na say the kind of women empowerment na ye western world ne de atu etrim say oh say oba say obeka say oyo oba no just where you to ho you fusu nyina de a kire okofo say no sister Sakina etu ye for say See, I can say women empowerment. It is about what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and His Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam has taught us. Adia utumfo nyankopon esi yen kremufo ma ana mo amu yen kremufo ma no adia wo se mo yen. E wo se eni se be ma ye standard. Eni se o ka se oh be ma e bobo ntimi so me ko bobo. Be ma ye president ntimi so me ko ye president. Be ma ye se ntimi so me ko ye se. Enye adia be ma be na be kire se o ye oba papa na se o ye oba fun. But adia wan kasa nyankopon e de ahye adwuma nyankopon de ama no. Be ma betimi aye ayi. E betimi aye maame. Be ma betimi awo. Be ma ntimi wo. Eya achade anyankopon de ama mankwa na betimi awo. Enti se wote wona se wo se oh be ma ye se ntimi so me be se miye bia. You are just destroying your own self, inshallah. So we thank you very much, Sister Sakina, for that education. You about hope for conclusion, inshallah. Yes, we'll go to the next part of the discussion, which is on this same topic of women's status in Islam. Yenuya Idris Muhammad Awal. Obabe kasachre. No a letter bia. Yes, sister. And I yenuya ba ochros abuku ye friend. Ustada Yasmin Mujahid no. Or say she's writing a letter to the culture that raised her. So a letter to the culture that raised me. Yenuya Idris Muhammad Awal. Young Konho now on my a little education or explanation of what Yasmin Mujahid is saying in this particular aspect of the book. You are watching us live on MAM TV, listening to us on MAM Online Radio. Inshallah, this is the book review show. Idris Muhammad Awal. Inshallah.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuhu. الحمد لله الذي لم يزل بالمعروف معروفا وبالكرم موصوفا كل يوم هو في شأن وصفت نوحا بأنه كان عبدا شكورا وشفيت أيوب بأنه كان عبدا أوابا منيبا وجعلت النار لإبراهيم بردا وسلاما فكان له ضياء ونورا وألقيت قميص يوسف على وجه يعقوب فارتد بصيرا وأرسلت نبي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم شاهدا ومبشرا ونذيرا. Once again, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
We give thanks and praise to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for blessing us with yet another week to discuss the book Reclaim Your Heart. And in fact, we are really reclaiming our hearts.
MashaAllah.
And I'm recommending this book to every youth. Wallahi, if all the youth, at least 20% of the Muslim youth to read this book, I believe that there's going to be a change in our mindset, how we think and how we behave. Now, the topic is a letter to the culture that raised me. So in the first place, we have to define what a culture is. As a culture is a way of life of a group of people. That's how a group of people live. They live by some standard norms and some under a codified rules and regulations. And we have to also define the term standard. Before we can understand the letter, we have to understand standard. Standard means falling within an accepted range. And this accepted range should be a range that is brought about or outlined by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Anything contrary to what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says about this is out of Islam or is not Islam. May Allah grant us goodness and understanding. The American say, you say, krata bi ayamami atura koma empote wa say baby a onyini ye. Atura krata koma mo efa enema bi a ebra obesua ade no wa hunu. Na ansa na ebedi kan ehunu jide di kan define term bi say culture, that's amamre. Yaka amamra eye suban bi a nipaduduo bi baby a nipaduduo bi te suban bi ene emre bi a omo sha ase nti obi biara a wo saa kuro no so anasa wo saa baby na omo te no esese wo de saa amamre no eye dwuma ibenefo kra se amamre ye ntoto na se nti wo toto amamre na se pe na je se o ya bu amamra no eso nti emi se nipa mra mpo ye se ye abu so a amamre bi a ni Nyankopon mra nko no so esese ye di so anasa eni kwan se ye di so Nyankopon ma nti ase.
Amen.
As Muslims, as women, Islam or Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala should be our standard. Like I've already defined standard, that's falling within an accepted range. What is Allah saying about how we speak, talk, dress? anything contrary to what the Quran and authentic hadith is saying is out of Islam. It means it is an innovation. And we all know that every innovation leads to the fire. It's a misguidance. And every misguidance leads to straight to the fire. Good. So before we accept what our culture wants us to do, we have to first look at it that does it please our Creator? We should ask ourselves, why were we created? Were we created to take men or some aspect of our culture as our standard, or to take the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as our standard? Culture taught us that we are nothing more than a bad copy of the standard. That is men. That's what our Ustad Yasmin Mujahid is putting across. That our culture is teaching us that we are nothing more than a bad copy of our standard. Meaning that our culture, our society is telling us that men is our standard. So anything that we do contrary to that of what men does is zero. Now, there is a saying that what men can do, women can do better. And even better. Yeah. So if a man can lead prayer, it means I can also lead prayers. If a man can drive, I can also drive. If a man can be an engineer, I can also do that. But you forgot that the Quran says, وَقَرْنَ فِي بُيُوتِكُنَّ. You women, your position is in the house. You have to be in your house. You shouldn't go out. Why? You are going to raise the next generation. MashaAllah. Men will go out. Like Quran chapter 4 verse 34 said that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that الرجال قوامون على النساء. Men are the protectors and maintainers of women, because Allah have raised one above the other, and it is in the property and it is in the wealth of the one raised, that the man, that the woman feeds, shelters and everything. So the woman should be humble. You have to humble themselves to their husbands. Why? Because in that humility, the next generation that we are going to raise, inshallah, is going to learn something from that, and we are going to have a better generation afterwards. The Americans say, "See, here amamre I o baby ayetia. Juma de bi ayedia ene emmema nkono. Yese enye papa. Ya bibia na ma ne pese omoye se emmema. Yese mmema bobo, je wase yenso ye ma bobo. Ye nyina yese gender equity. Wase ye nyina ya ade
gender equality.
Equality. But they forget that Islam talks about equity, not equality. There's a difference between equity and equality. Equality means if it is one, all of us are going to get one. But equity means that we are going to watch a football match and we should stand on something. If I am very short, if I should stand on two and you will not stand on anything, but you will still see the view the match from the field, it means the equity level is that at the end of the day we are all watching a football match. But if we are to use equality, we are all going to get one chair to stand on. It means you will see it, you will oversee it. Whilst I what? I will not see that. So that's what our culture is what is teaching us. The can say, baby, I yet know. And your man yashishe, Ediama yene emano abrabono. Because a minion mano, ya yedenom, yamameno abrabono. Say, ene a man, your man nantia, I say, and your papa. Meanwhile, and yes, answer and can say a day. You will say, a dear opportunity, anyway, we are saying that we should define what? Our purpose. So when we try all means to be like men, and we are not able to be like them, what do? Finally, we always try to what? Please men. At-takbir.
Allahu Akbar.
When we want to be like men, and we are not able to do that, what we end up doing is that we want to please them. Meanwhile, we have to please our Creator and nothing else. Because at the end of the day, we are not answerable to the creation, but to the Creator. Kitab al-Ahadari will tell you that La ta'at li-makhluk fi ma'asiyat li-khaliq. Don't please creation to the displeasure of the Creator. Why should we please men? Or because if we don't please them, the culture that we were raised in, they will say that, oh, we are this, we are that. My sister said that some people ask that, don't you feel the heat of the sun with this hijab on? I've been hearing this countless number of times. So I tell them that, if they were feeling hot, are you the one going to tell them? No. If I'm hungry, you're not the one going to tell me I'm very hungry. Yes, I will feel it. And if I feel like eating, alhamdulillah, I will go and what? And eat. Now, let's look at this. Our makeups that we put on, we wear short skirts, our lives, bodies, dignity. We do all this to please man. But it shouldn't be so. Yes, we should dress very well to the extent that our Creator will be pleased. If Allah is pleased with us and the creation is not pleased with us, I think that is better than the whole world cheering you up, but Allah is angry with you.
So are you saying our sisters should stop dressing to kill?
Sure. Our sisters should stop dressing to kill. Why do they dress like that? The society that we are living in, if you don't dress like that, you don't feel accepted into that company.
Yes.
So you see that you are the only one, or they will sideline you. So you ask yourself, what should I do, or what can I do in order to be part of this group? So they'll tell you that, oh, this your abaya thing, you have to do away with it. This your niqab, this thing. You know, the prophet says it's not compulsory.
It's your body sack or body bag. They call it funny names to discourage you.
You see, there is a hadith that if you begin avoiding the sunnah aspects of the religion, you avoid them to a time that you forget or you even abandon the fara'id. Yes. So the prophet said, oh, it's not compulsory. The prophet said that. That's when our ladies, that those who are very lazy to go by the code of ethics of Islam, will start quoting. Meanwhile, they can't even reference from where they are quoting from. They can say, you make up your short skirt and getting. That's a or bank and who offers ya ketesia kata uhusi, kawakata ho kama. Tofi kura ho kwa tofi noa, to finish a rubber ni ahwane ho. Now the way hwane ho dada na adenam. Enti ana manage code to be a Sheikh Ahmed that admire. Or see, if exposure of body is modernism, then all animals are more modern than humans. At agree.
Allahu Akbar.
Or see senka ahuyiye ene chire enibia sebi manusi sumina so enka emwa enie bi esinipa. Because M1 shenta de da. They be omu go abonten. Omokura no Allah de enwi bi adai akata omo ho. And the obeshi akatesi ha. Sene wasi address dem de ntra. Oma ono omo nam no se wan address sa ombepam no. Oma ono omo nam no wan address sa omobesere no. Nti obi a won te esomasi bia no abre opeso address na me nkrofo no energy. Meanwhile, as a so address ma otumfo yankopon na ni eje no ho. That to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, not our society.
Mashallah.
Now, I've already stated that our culture is saying we are nothing, but Islam is saying we are different. Our bodies, souls were created for something more beneficial, something more perfect. That is our pure standard as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So, Nyakopon boy honam se yakra se ne bedre se nyame de mra to ho se nya sa ma na nya dai enje. Enti honna Yasmin Mujahid Ustada Omaya Aya Bise Quran chapter 49 verse 30 Surah Hujurat Ya ayyuhalladhina ya ayyuhan nas inna khalaqnakum min dhakarin wa untha waja'alnakum shu'uban wa qaba'ila lita'arafu inna akramakum 'inda Allah atqakum inna Allah alimul khabir. Now all mankind, we have created you from male and female. That we created mankind male and female. It means that a male is going to be judged according to what he was created for, and a female is going to be judged according to what he was created for. Is our assemblyman going to account the same as our member of parliament? No, because the money that passed through the hands of the assemblyman is very major, it's very small as compared to that of what? The member of parliament. Now, so Allah said, and that we made you into people, that nations and tribes. Why? In order that you may know yourselves, you may know one another. And the key idea here is among the men and women, the nations and tribes, inna akramakum indallahi atqakum, that the most honorable, the most noble of you in the sight of our Creator, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, is those who are righteous and pious. And you go to Quran chapter 33, verse number 35, Surah Al-Ahzab, Allah has distinctively stated that the believing men and the believing women, the Muslim men and the Muslim women, the truthful men, the truthful women, the women who fast and the men who fast, they are all going to receive their blessings accordingly. So it means men shouldn't be our standard, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the code of Islam should be our standard. Yankopon omentiase. Ye ka se Yankopon wa boy man me ma wa boy abusua ene eku. Na za eku ne abusua nyame se de be dey ye be hu ne ye ho. Na abusua ne eku ne man me ma no ye ne nyame ani gi ye ho. Ye ne ye di mu nyame anim ene ye ne ye papa. Ye ne esuro nyame. Ni se unsuro nyame asa wo ye president. That's the unsuro nyame kura no a. That's the wa akwa bi na usuro nyame a. Akwa Yankopon ani gi no ho. Esne you the president. Yankopon omentiase.
Amen.
Now, your value as women is not measured by the size of your waist or the number of men who likes you.
Exactly.
Yeah. Especially if I link this to my previous topic, that the Facebook and its fitness and other things. You see, when we are posting some things on Facebook, like I said the other time, it should be for the pleasure of Allah, not for the number of likes we are going to get. Same applies to our lives. Our lives should be lived to please Allah, not to be based on the number of men or the number of people who likes us. If we are to go by that, definitely we are going to fail. The Americans say Bob Brower says Isua. My young Bob Brand said the amount for penal, said the penal. I can focus and say or branded the one Kasawa bo and yet you be a bo. So Papa were Japadi and Yodia or only the other also body. At the end of the day, Papa could put a tanko, Uzo go body uncle. Inti Yenuano Mano, see a case. Send it sombo is it ya? And your memo to do a more pay war, and your memo to do a more comfort war, and your memo to do a more cassa warfare. The mum send a busy aya or amo 2 phone and coupon and he ajo. So our starter said that your worth as women is measured on a higher scale. That is a scale of righteousness and piety.
MashaAllah.
Your worth as women is measured on a higher scale. A scale of righteousness and piety. So, if you want to know your real worth, get the Quran, get the Hadith. How did Khadija dress? How did they conduct themselves? And Aisha, read about them. You are going to learn something from their code of conduct. How they spoke, how they walked, how they dressed. And inshallah, you are going to be the best of women. Yeah, mama say, and ma say, open say, who said here, obo esitia. Send a obo or boarding and obo sitia. And yet the amount for back name send the obesi kuta. Someone said, a poet said that it is their duty and dignity which brings out their hidden beauty. Your duty as a woman and how you protect your dignity, it's what brings out your hidden beauty. If you don't perform your duties and you soil your dignity, you are not qualified to be called a woman. May Allah protect and forgive our shortcomings.
Amen.
So your purpose in life, despite what the fashion magazine says, is something more sublime than just looking good for men. You should look good for men, but you look good for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Finally, Allah tells you, our honorable ladies, it's a Sakina inclusive, to cover yourselves. That Quran chapter 24, verse number 31, Surah An-Nur. Allah said, and tell the believing women to lower their gaze from looking at forbidden things and to cover their adornment except what must primarily appear thereof. This is a direct command to the believing women. So we are speaking to those who believe. The air can say, Otumfo Yankopon kata man say yankata yeho. Na ye o dalil ana say ye ko Quran mu a enyina so a ye wo ye Quran sura to so aduonu enan njichemu aduasa baako. Suratul Nur. Otumfo Yankopon say na monka nkire agidiefo man say omompre omani ase that omompre omo ho ase omofo omani hwe enema a emfata. Na afi omonkata omo hu nyina age baabi a esese epie. The Quran describes I holding in anti. Wa uti etiefo na hwefo ya na akokin ka ho nyina na ahwe de Otumfo Yankopon ka. Allah tells us to hide our beauty, not to display them. Because you are going to be accountable for whatever you display to strange men. The most painful thing is that we are going to die one day. And our pictures will be on Facebook, Instagram. Our nude pictures will be there. And people will still be viewing and looking at them. And we are going to be judged accordingly. Finally, Allah tells us to tell the world that we are not there to please them. We are not there to please the world and our society with our body, but to please who? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. the problem or our major problem on this issue is the women liberation movement. They seek to liberate women, but they forget, our women forget that they don't love them. They just want to take their cover off so that they display their beauty outside. So the ignorant Muslim will say that, why is it that you always force us to wear the hijab? But the believing women always see it as an order from Allah and a dignified code of ethic to cover themselves. Finally, as a Muslim, you've been liberated already. That's from silent kind of bondage. That's the bondage of the world to the bondage of our Creator. You don't answer to slaves of God. But who do you answer to? You answer to the slave master, their king. Our assemblyman, our MP, and our president, who is more superior?
Of course, the president.
The president. So if there's something we are doing right and it pleases the president more than the MP, should we stop? No. You will do it in order for the president to be happy more than the MP. The editor at one say, Yanko Buakunta enchre abodie. Yekubu akunta achre obadie. The way your name means the one kasa choose baako. Ubebu akunta achre abodie. And I say obadie. You know mama. Bugobu akunta achre abodie obadie dia. Yehwe send you be say akura ye hu na enna me frɛ emma. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Nam the book review show and a book swa. Motieno Idris Muhammad Awal and Amoten and Kano. He spoke about a letter to the culture that raised me. When you know, ye de kai kai huana ye di suya diebi afa the status of women in Islam. Islam somno ye oshe esuma akana maybe omo accuse Islam, omo accuse Muslims. They be you are always subjugating your women. You are forcing them to dress in a certain way. You are always putting a lot of rules and regulations on them. And so say nema we nyina no. Omo alternative omo de ba any day. Omo alternative ne say munyai mama omo romo. Munyai mama omo say they should live whatever kind of lifestyle they want. Leave women for them to expose themselves, for them to, please the egos of
even
men.
Can we live without rules and regulations?
Subhanallah.
Even the machines we are using.
In fact, when we even look at that alternative, what do we seek to achieve? No,
nothing.
Allow people to just expose themselves. What is the end result of ladies exposing themselves and dressing anyhow? What is the end result? What do we seek to achieve? So are we trying to now please people who are trying to define the fashion trends, who are telling us that so what dresses say and I say we are trying to please the one who created us?
The result is what we are seeing: immorality everywhere.
In
our schools, basic schools, secondary schools, tertiary, everywhere.
Subhanallah. And we are not media for mom share live on Facebook. Mom also mutie or mom apps and so on. Mosempa and I'm assuming Sane Kano. Em say omo Facebook media be comments no so em say mubi no questions. They are all one saying Jazakallah khair from Fatima Ahmed, and then Saki don't flexi mama. On also say Jazakallah khair. Enye izo em go for guy needs pa omo hwe so Hamima Yunus share Faisal Muhammad so share Hafsa Idris Omunina share. In fact, it didn't do so intimate bonina. May I conclude we are then maybe we can come back and mention some of these names, inshallah. Malama Sakina or Ustada Sakina. Yes. Let's conclude and see. And then from there I'll come to Awal Muhammad now.
Okay. In my conclusion, I would like to tell all Muslim women outside that the very first day you were born a Muslimah, you became the most modernized person in the world.
MashaAllah.
And you became the most empowered person in the world. Allah made you the queen that you are. And you don't have to wait for someone to come and tell you that this is what you do before you become Anid. Once you feel fulfilled inside you, then you are okay. I remember when I came to first year, that was the first time I left home to go to school, because the whole of my 3 years in SHS, I was a day student.
MashaAllah.
And when I came to my room, unfortunately or fortunately, I was the only Muslim in the room.
Wow.
And anytime I'm going for lectures and I wear anything that I'll wear under my abaya before I wear the abaya, one of my roommates will just be sitting there looking at me. Then when I'm done wearing what I'm wearing under and I bring the big one, she'll be like, now we swear.
Wow.
Then I'm like, I can't go outside with just this. And she's like, this one is very nice. And always what I tell her is that, what's the problem with me covering something that is nice?
No.
I said, it's because it's nice. That's why I'm covering it.
No.
It's just like, or something like that.
No.
And I remember we were going for a Jimsa dinner. And I was telling them, I'm going for a dinner and I don't know what to wear. They were like, bring your bag. So I brought my bag. And they started searching my things to give me something nice to wear. Anything they show me to wear, it will expose everything. So I'm like, no, I won't wear this. Then I went to bring one about like, now morning coat now they could. But deep inside me, I realized that I was the most proud person being a Muslim and covering myself. Because anywhere you pass, people would like to see what is under that thing that you don't want to expose. And then I think the last day I was leaving my room, one of my roommate's sister visited us. She usually visits us. And that day I was talking to me and I was still wearing my abaya. She was like, she's going with this same dress thing outside. You couldn't change her. And that statement made me really happy. Like, that was one of the happiest moments in my life. Like, at least I've been able to leave the room without being under their influence and upholding my Islamic identity. And I tell all women outside that if you are to embrace Islam and being empowered by Islam, you realize your personal power. Then you become the most happiest person in the world. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi
wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Malama Ustada Sakina Otuyefu say, once you are born a Muslim, there is nothing more modern than being a Muslim. So you're Muslim, no, and enough, modernity and be and no say when you be Muslim now wakata when you be sin. So don't let people deceive your microphone that when can't say, oh, we the nyefe atari we the shododo obi a hu shape. No, it's not about exposing yourself to the world. It is about pleasing the Lord of the world himself, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now, Idris Muhammad Awal also found the Tuasona Yampon, inshallah.
Now, once again, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh to our cherished viewers and listeners.
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Well, in this concluding part, I would like to quote verbatim from what our Ustada said. She said that, with my veil, I put my faith on display. Rather than my beauty, my value as a human is defined by my relationship with Allah, not by my looks. I cover the irrelevant. And when you look at me, you don't see a body. You view me only for what I am. That is a servant of my Creator.
MashaAllah. I cover the
irrelevant. With my veil, I put my faith on display. Rather than my beauty, my value as a human is defined by my relationship with God, that is with Allah, not by my looks. I cover the irrelevant. I cover the irrelevant. And when you look at me, you don't see a body. You view me only for what I am, or only for what I am, and I am the servant of Allah.
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. MashaAllah.
It very means powerful. You are a servant of something, a deity or a body. You do what that deity, that object of worship, that body wants. Anything contrary to what the deity or the object of worship wants is zero. May Allah grant us understanding.
Amen.
So my dear ladies out there, we like you, we love you the way you are.
No.
Don't wait for
Bohobi.
I think we like and cherish them, we like them, we love them the way they are.
MashaAllah.
And we are proud to see you dressed in that manner.
Exactly.
Not to expose your aura. You see that the ideal Muslim exposes their aura not.
No.
Except to their husbands and close relatives.
No.
And it is their duty and dignity which brings out their hidden beauty.
MashaAllah.
So our ladies out there, accept the Islamic code of dressing, accept what the Quran and Sunnah says, and you'll be the happiest person on earth.
Mashallah.
If you are to follow mankind, or the society, you are going to regret it. And that regret, you can never bounce back. The air candidate one is a, or this a mekata me hoa, Emma Mijidi, another mesomono, the bon with the uru, among whom say, I can taste ye air day. I can taste ye and Kazakas, the minute they cut our always says as a kin address here, everything shows that she's a Muslim. Yes. She doesn't display any other thing except on that the fufurobiadi aje nesom, that's Islam no or no. So we ceremonia as I say and cremomra and our dear Juma or the Emra Floko Juma as a onye ceremony. And was he the value value
value. Value later on you find out.
Send you Osisombono.
Yes.
And yet send you Mumuno, Mumumi have been tired, say, I mentioned Tadifin. Name of said them a any Jimmy Hono, and never who's a Mesombo. And it's a Mesombo, and yet I did because wow, gorgeous, wow, awesome, wow, this no.
Beautiful. But
send you two phone and go for any bad Jimmy Hon intra. Make a Facebook post to be a Bible post to a picture be not ogu hijab near day. When you likes me and sa comment back up. Comment Kurano.
I said
the bro you might have post two nude pictures, and they her comment, her likes. This is what the society seeks to achieve, to expose our aura, and we shouldn't accept that.
No.
And said that, and when you look at me, say, oh, Shamia, what bontin, so where make money banoa. Whom honamo, name ube who say, my yard, dear Bia, my center, dear Bia, but if me as antitembi, or see and share a Brasienta, Banian Center, dear Fata, it my dressing, other machine will be a Fata, said dear Baya or bar, dear no, any Benjamin home,
Mashallah,
and yet a body. If you make a Jimmy man, says, send a mutibia, Yapamosa, Yanijimo, Anna Munimuntra, and the Yapanasa, Mamma. Western world, and by Chem was sending a mundressy. Now, my Yimontad, every more. And you call sort of Azar, but I'm watching it and Tarishemuno, or our cousin, Shaitan, San or ye, and an Adam in a year and tard, free or more. You will say obedience we entire day. Every although we should always be on guard to protect our dignity. That's by wearing and going according to the Islamic code of ethics. Finally, it is our duty and dignity which brings out our hidden beauty. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Now, did you make the AC no yanko Facebook and call King Kai? One or two comments, then we end the program, inshallah. Asunaba Anakwa Anas. I say, with my veil, I put my faith on display, not my looks. Deep. Now, mashallah, mashallah. And Razak Sadia, I'll say, mashallah. And Abdul Salam, or say salam, also salam nibi. And then also, and so on and so forth. Now, comments, no, Nina, do na salam, ne, we na, we been so the Bakuba to another men kind. Now, so Bibri, Bibri, now, me and fire program, no, you see her. This is where we will bring to an end today's edition of the book review show. We have been discussing the book Reclaim Your Heart, authored by Ustada Yasmin Mujahid. We are on chapter 5 now, Women's Status in Islam. I had with me Sister Sakina Sahabi, who spoke about empowerment of women, and then Brother Idris Muhammad Awal, who also spoke about a letter to the culture that raised me. We are not done with this particular chapter. Yes, inshallah, next week we will come back and continue. I got 2 parts. Next week we are going to discuss a woman's reflection on leading prayer. The same talks about women's status in Islam. A woman's reflection on leading prayer, and also manhood and the facade of being hard. Inshallah, next week. amamo inshallah the book review show on Mam Online Radio and TV. We pray and hope that Allah grants us another opportunity or another time next week, another hour, so that we do this program once again. Until then, we leave you all with the best of salutations. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
MAM Radio والله الجنة في الدوس إن شاء الله.